I married a gay man and we had a baby.
And today we're going to talk about the first time we had sex.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh my God, it's getting raunchy. But it's actually a really beautiful story that we want to tell in detail. And a lot of people wonder where the transition came from us being best friends to lovers.
And, well, let me take it from here. So we had been best friends for 18 months. And from the second that I met Jacob, it felt like that magnetic, amazing feeling. But it was confusing because I knew that he was a homosexual.
Yes.
And
it was a big wrench in the whole process of us becoming lovers.
And I'd had many a gay friend before. I currently still have many a gay friend. But it never was, they were never like, no friendship actually, no person ever made me feel the way Jacob made me feel. It really was that classic love at first sight feeling, but I didn't know that that's really what it was because I was so confused about the fact that he was gay. And so we went on for 18 months as best platonic friends. We
would, hang out in like all night and sleep in the same bed together.
Not touching one another.
Right. We'd be on opposite sides of the bed, just like, you know, and I mean, there was that thing, that wall there that was like, we're just friends and we're not going to cross that line and risk it.
Right. And for me, it was like, well, it felt more like there's no way it could be this because he's gay. And I think Jacob probably had a different experience as the gay person.
Yeah.
You know, if anything was going to happen, it was going to be because of you in my mind.
Right.
Like I was never going to try to cross that line because again, I didn't know that's what it was. I was so confused. There's no examples of a gay man and a straight woman who are married and out about it.
Right.
Like there's tons who are closeted or tons of people who are there's tons who are closeted or tons of people who are in these like lavender marriage companionships. But when it comes to this, we didn't have an example. So we didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
Until the big July.
Yes. And Samantha was out doing a show in San Diego where we met, and I was living in Los Angeles here.
And I was staying with a friend, and this friend had gone to an energy healer and came back and was like, Sam, you need to go to this energy healer because I just got so much clarity on my life. And this friend had like a different pep in her step. When I tell you that it felt like some sort of like magic had come across to my friend through this energy healer session. Also, a little backstory. I was doing a ton of hot yoga at this time because I was playing Harpo Marx in Animal Crackers, the musical. And I had to do a lot of like the physical comedy of like falling on my back, the leg bit. And so I wanted to be so limber. And my solution for that was hot yoga. So when I went to see this energy healer, either I was completely zen or completely dehydrated.
Both.
But maybe both, probably both. And I walked into this shop in San Diego. It's called Verde. And it's on Indian Street. It's on India
Street.
India Street in Little Italy.
Yes.
And
a lot of different cultures kind of clashing here.
Yeah, and you walk in and it's like they're selling crystals, they're selling bracelets, they're selling San Diego hats.
They're probably selling a different type of crystals in the back.
Probably. And I go and I talk to this woman and she's asking me about my life, and she asks if I am seeing anyone. And obviously I wasn't, but I paused in the response because I didn't know how to explain what I was going through with Jacob. You know, like we'd never crossed a boundary of anything more than platonic. But yet I like felt like there was like something that was weighing me down with him that was that just felt like I was like kind of like entrapped in this like situation of feelings that I didn't know how to explain. And I said, well, you know, I'm just very confused about the connection I have with my best friend. And she stopped me in the middle of saying that. And she said, yeah, our baby's hearing this story for the first time. She stopped me and she said, where your hand is right now is where your belly button is. And that's where the umbilical cord attaches. And what I am picking up on is that you two share a spiritual umbilical cord. And I had just come from hot yoga. So that was kind of like the woo-woo, whatever. I was in a woo-woo headspace. And that was kind of exactly what I needed.
Typically are.
I am, you know, I was named after the witch from Bewitched. How could I not be? And so I texted Jacob after seeing her and I said, do you ever have feelings for me that are more than a friend?
By the way, we love to walk around this neighborhood and try and manifest living here. It's so pretty.
We're literally house shopping right now.
Yeah. So I get that text.
That's the secret about manifestation. Manifestation, you have to kind of just put yourself there and say, this is going to happen. This is going to be my neighborhood one day. I am going to
own one of these houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get that text and immediately 2 different feelings go through me. One of them is like, of course I feel more for Samantha than a friend. This is...
Pretty sure Snow White lives there.
I'm sure. Don't eat any apples. I'm sure that this is the most incredible thing, but also I am terrified because I don't think I can have a relationship with her successfully because she's a woman. And I was scared that trying this would ruin the incredible friendship and relationship we already had going. And so I respond with the glorious response of, what do you mean?
And I threw my phone across the room. I wasn't even going to entertain responding to that nonsense.
Right. And I knew what do you mean is a stupid response in that.
Yeah, of course you know what I mean.
Right. So like a minute or 2 later, I text back and something inside of me was also like whispering to me and saying, this is the right move. This is what you need and this is what you want. And even if it didn't work out, you guys have such a great connection that you'd probably be able to just laugh it off if it didn't work out or got awkward.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm willing to try. And of course, I feel more for you than a friend. And we kind of left it there and we didn't bring it up verbally ever again. And so the next week, I go down to see Samantha in her show. Was it opening night?
It was an opening night, but you did tell Nightline it was opening night.
Oh boy. Misremembering.
So this was the second time that you had seen the show. And
it was?
Yeah, you came down for opening night. You were my date. And this time was, this was like Chaz's birthday.
Yes. So a friend of ours was having a birthday.
And this is also my aunt's birthday. So I remember this date very clearly.
And I think the goal was that I was going to stay with you the entire weekend.
I think so.
So I had like packed my bags for like 2 days, 2 nights of sleeping over.
Yeah.
And you were staying at your friend's house who went to the energy healer.
And Jacob came down and he saw the show. Then we went out to sushi for our friend's birthday.
Yeah.
And then we went back to my friend's house and we started watching Marx Brothers movies.
Right. And all the while, like, tension is there and like this thing that like, okay, the move is going to have to be made.
But it's like giggly tension. It didn't feel like weird.
No.
Like it felt very natural.
Yeah, and exciting.
That's the bizarre thing about it, but also the thing that's so beautiful about it.
Yeah. And so somewhere in there, Samantha was like, I want to watch Animal Crackers. And I'm like, you just performed this show. Why do you want to keep watching this movie? But she was so into researching her role as Harpo Marx that we put it on, and it just kind of slipped away into us kissing. And I don't know who
Across the
exactly
street here.
made that move. To me, in my head, it felt like naturally we just kind of came together and kissed. And
Should
that,
we go down that way?
yeah, right, we're heading back.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we eventually, that night, did it for the first time. And it was amazing. And sort of all those fears that I had about not being able to be in a relationship with Samantha just completely melted away because it was so natural.
Yeah, it didn't feel like, ooh, we're doing the deed. It just felt
Right.
like two long lost souls had met once again.
Yeah, and we connected. And it was really incredible and beyond any sort of words we could use right now. It was an experience you just kind of have to experience.
And I think that anyone who really is in love and who's in a relationship or has experienced love before of this capacity can relate. It was exactly like that. And you know, we always talk about how just love in general. Like I think that love comes in so many different forms, but I think the old fashioned madly deep in love, head over heels love story is one that every single person can relate to, but not everyone necessarily experiences. And it's really that old Hollywood feeling when you're watching a movie, like I say, like when you're watching like Titanic or Casablanca, and the way you feel when you watch those films, that's the way our love story has felt from the second that we've met.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and we got you out of it, which is the best part.
Yeah.
But
We always say look for that sort of connection in your life and also encourage people to make that first move. Because even if you have this connection and you're straight or you're a gay couple or you don't have the sort of roadblock of our dynamic in the way that created so much fear for us, it's important to somebody has to make that move
Yeah.
for it to happen.